This is the Voiceover Gurus Podcast. Real talk about the voiceover industry with your hosts, Linda Bruno and JJ Wilson.
Welcome back. It's the Voiceover Gurus Podcast. I'm Linda Bruno, and you're?
On the Voiceover Gurus podcast.
No, you're JJ Wilson.
Oh, so am I. Boy, that's funny. There are two of us here. Damn.
You look nice and warm and cozy, and you're like,
oh, I
Sherpa
am.
line.
I was just outside. It's 31 here in Nashville.
Yes. It's
Yes.
chilly here, too, in New York.
So
you
I
look very
just,
cozy.
Just got back from my gourmet breakfast and looking for a spoke shave.
What?
You don't happen to have one, do you?
What's that?
It's actually a very, very, one of the oldest tools made. And it's got two handles and like a razor blade in the middle, and they used to use it to make the spokes for wooden wheels on wagon train thingies.
Oh.
And it's just it's a shaper.
So Santa didn't bring that to you?
I didn't know I needed one till yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, it's either that or buy a lathe, and I don't want to buy. I don't have room for a lathe.
What's a lathe?
A lathe is a long machine, 3-4 feet long. And you put a piece of wood between two ends, and it spins very quickly. And you use a tool to make round wood.
Okay, because
that's what you make furniture
years,
legs out of and things like that.
For years, I've done on-hold messages for this company and talked about lathes. I never knew what the heck it was I was talking about.
Yep.
But there's a good example, people, of not knowing what the heck you're talking about and still acting like you do.
That's right. That's right.
And that's the gift.
Yeah.
The gift
I've got
of
a
what
spoke
we
shave,
do.
and I don't even use shaving cream. So there.
I thought you were going to say like a bespoke shave, like a custom shave.
Oh, no. I do it all myself and bleed to death half the time.
Well, I like your little jacket, and I see behind you in your closet you have multiple jackets. So if you change your mind on jacket, you can do that.
Well, all of those are Janine's. I have 2. She has 37.
That narrows it down a bit.
I've got leopard. I've got fur. I've got red. Yeah. This is what I got. It's from Walmart.
Nice.
$29. Yeah, it's warm.
Did you get anything
too.
good for the holidays?
I got this nice jacket. It's from Walmart. It was $29, and we bought each other tools.
That's a very romantic Christmas.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Hey, honey, you want to go out to the barn? I got some 60 grit for you. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I got some lovely AirPod Pros from my boyfriend, so I'm loving those because the sound is really cool. And it totally blocks everything out.
Yes. Yeah, I hear they're amazing.
Really, so you can watch TV. I'm hearing things on TV shows that I would never normally hear.
It's like wearing really powerful hearing aids.
Yes.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Yes. What?
So I'm enjoying that immensely.
Very
So we're on
good.
a little bit of a break right now, which is nice. You know, everybody's kind of quiet doing their thing before the new year starts. By the time you hear this, the new year will have started. So Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy Groundhog Day in case it doesn't air till after that.
But we've got a few questions that came in from a new participant of our workouts, Diana. I will give a name this time. And she had a couple questions she wanted us to answer for her.
I'm ready.
Podcast.
I'm
Okay.
ready. What is... Oh, no, you haven't asked the question yet. All right.
Whoa. What's your... Whoa.
What do you want, a horse?
Wah.
Oh,
That's
that,
Charlie
okay.
Brown. Yep. What's your routine the day of a session? Like the night before, do you do anything? Morning of, warm-ups, rituals, beverages, preparation, everything.
Wow.
Now let's put
Okay,
this more
so-
into the fact of maybe it's a huge session. Why don't we modify it? Because you and I do sessions all the time.
Yes.
But what about a really big one? That's very important.
Well, I make sure I read the darn copy a lot, but I don't get stuck in a mode, you know? I get it. I do it to get familiar with the words, but I don't concentrate on any type of read because you never know what they're going to want.
Okay.
If you lock yourself, if you practice it over and over and over and over the same way, then they want something different. You're kind of stuck. But I'd get familiar with the words and where the punctuation is and things like that. But I just don't overthink it.
Now, what about, you don't do anything the night before because you've been doing this so long, right?
Well, I usually brush my teeth, have several Oreo cookies after I brush my teeth. Then I smile big for the wife, and there's black stuff between all my front teeth. It's really awesome. No, I think about it, and no, I don't do anything the night before. And the morning of, I'll usually have a quick smoke, a soda, and come on in and sit down.
Those are terrible guidelines, JJ. Terrible. The night before for me, because I'm conscious of the fact that I have a big session, I just make sure that I go to bed on time. And that I get sleep.
There is that. There is that.
I'm not going out. I'm not doing anything like that. But the morning of...
No tequila the night before.
Yeah. Well, I can't say that hasn't happened. Okay. But the morning of, for me, I get up early. And for me, because I need to have my sinuses drain. I know this is gross, but my sinuses have to drain for at least 2 hours prior to any voicing. For me to sound, yes, with the clarity that I need... I get up, so I back up my little schedule of my sessions at 10, and maybe I would normally get up at 7. I'll get up at 6. And that way I can spend from 6 to 8 warming up. Maybe I'll have coffee, maybe not. Take my shower, start to do my warm-ups to get everything nice and relaxed and smooth. And then I do like you. I go through the scripts, just reviewing them. But as far as diet goes, I wouldn't eat anything dairy. I would try to stay away from something like, I'd probably have a piece of toast.
Yeah.
Something simple.
No big glass of milk with chocolate syrup in it.
Right.
Yeah. No, sound like this. Okay, buddy.
Exactly.
And now.
And then right before the session, I'm pretty routine. I get a big thermos of hot tea, the throat coat tea. A double dose of that. And
that stuff is icky.
Oh, I love it.
It's like
so
WD-40
good.
on your uvula.
Oh, but it's so good for voicing.
I know, but it's like...
Well, let me tell you,
it's weird.
If you're doing like a long form...
You live in Nashville too? Well, damn.
I used to years ago. I was in Nashville.
You gotta get a damn truck.
I'm from Texas. You forget I'm from Texas.
Yeah,
so
forget that shit. Oh, sorry.
If you're doing a long-form project, you have to prepare to have the things with you in case you don't get a chance to take a break.
Right, like a small medical kit, maybe a shovel, a pickaxe, and
a bucket to pee in.
A bucket to pee in, yes. Or catheters are great if we're on the really long ones. It's kind of hard to do in the middle of a sentence, but I usually put it in before the session starts.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, otherwise it's, and then they, ouch! And, yeah. And you have to make sure that the tube is actually low enough so you don't hear the tinkling in the bucket. So just some helpful hints
Good
from
tips.
the voiceover.guru.
So, for you, what's the longest session you've ever done?
In a day, or like in script wise?
In a day, like, yeah.
In a day, oh gosh, I've probably done a 4 or 5 hour script in a day, and it took all day.
Now, do you take any breaks?
Oh sure, got to have a smoke in between.
But how many breaks do you take typically?
Oh, like if I'm doing an hour narration, I'll probably not take a break because you get in the mode and you don't want anything to change.
Yeah, I'm
I don't want to get up. I don't want to move mic position. I'm the same way as you about that. I just sit here and get it done, and then I hit save. Then I'll take a break. Then I'll come back and edit it.
Okay.
If I make any mistakes, which is very rare.
Well, yeah.
Remember the story the other night I told at class? I don't think I told that on the podcast yet. I was reading a script for somebody, and I sent it off, and it was one of those words that just wasn't jiving with me. Mm-hmm. And it was AWED. And I said, and then they all were a wed. And I sent it off, and the guy calls me. He's laughing hysterically, and he said, "That's odd." And I went, "Oh, for God's sakes." I said, "Oh, wed?" So even after this many years, you can still not see something correctly and do something really stupid. So, yeah, anyway, yeah.
I know that in the past when I've had to do a lot of IVR work, which is very lengthy, you know, and they would send me, especially for Pfizer, they'd say, "Oh, we're sending you a 60-page script. You know, we're going to break it up." And I know for me, I need a 2-hour break.
Yes. Every 8 minutes.
Yes. I find that it's good for me to have a break after 2 hours. So I do like a 5-minute break after 2 hours because like you, once I see the length of something, I just want to get in and I just want to start rocking it, you know?
Yes. Yes.
And I want to keep the consistency, the energy the same. I want to try to keep everything, you know, consistent, like I just said. But then after 2 hours, I can start to hear my voice is like, we need a little break, you know?
Right.
So I'll take a break then, but then I get right back into it because I want to get the darn thing done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, there are longer ones which take days, and that this gets close to the audiobook thing where you have to, you know, one of them I think I did was 19 hours.
Oh, gosh,
And
that
it
is
was
so
a training
taxing.
course for how to sell the Mercedes Maybach.
So is it more of an e-learning thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was a video program for the salespeople to watch on how to sell this $150,000 car and all its features.
Wow.
And I did a couple of hours a day, but that's when you really get into, you've got to be the same place, the same time. You record about the same time a day, and you've got to, you know, I usually read a paragraph listening to the old. To yesterday's. I'll go the last, you know, minute and a half or so, play it back in my ears and read along with it, and that helps me get back into the exact mode I was in the day before, and then I just keep reading. Mm-hmm. And I can usually match things pretty well. I'm surprised, but I guess that's just years of experience. You know, somebody sends me something from a month and a half ago, and it's one sentence out of 12 pages, and you know, we're pretty consistent. I mean, you know, our voices don't change that much. So, yeah, but you've got to be consistent, though. That's definitely an important thing because you can't have one thing sound, then and then they went back to the store. It's got to match.
Audiobooks, that's a whole different animal to deal with audiobooks.
Yes.
Because I know people fall in love with it and they go, "Oh my God, I want to read audiobooks." But there is a massive process that goes into this that you should research before you truly decide you're going to dedicate yourself to it. Because I did an audiobook for an agent. An agent had just sent me this, "Hey, you're booked for this audiobook." I didn't have any say in this thing. It was 800 pages long.
Oh.
Yes. And this is now, I have Sandy who edits for me, so I was paying her to edit. Thank God.
Oh,
so I
that's
didn't
nice.
have to do that. But reading 800 pages, and they wanted it within 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Yes. So I'm explaining to the agent, you're crazy. I have other stuff I'm doing, and this is a ton of stuff to read.
Yeah.
But it became one of those projects that I was ready to kill myself by the end of it because you got to get it done. It has to be consistent. You have to sit in the same spot. Your mic distance has to be the exact same. You have to measure, take a pencil, measure how the distance is, and you have to be in that zone of doing an audiobook for 2 weeks, but usually longer.
Yeah.
On ACX, that's the website where you go to meet up with authors if you are a narrator. And they usually give you a couple months to do a book. So This was 2 weeks. It was horrible, like one of the worst experiences I've ever had. But that's what goes into audiobooks.
How many hours a day did you spend doing it? 4 or 5?
Yeah. And then I had to come in the weekend, work on it in the weekend because the thing had to be done. I had that pressure. Now, if you go for ACX and you're dealing directly with an author, that's a different story because you can kind of set your own timeline and say, hey, can I have 3 months? Can I have 4 months? But even still, it's still very tedious work. And you got to love it. You got to love it. You got to love getting in there. Maybe creating character voices is your thing. But take a long, hard look at it.
Yeah.
Because it's a slower way to make money in this business. Is that a good way to put it?
Yes. Yes. And with people like us, we've got to stop 3 or 4 times a day, and you've got to go from that mode that you're in of reading a book to Channel 7 News. It's got a news update. And then you go back to, and then Nancy went to the store.
Exactly.
And to get some milk. And her cat said, bark, bark. Nancy has a weird cat. But yeah, because you got to switch modes and then go right back to it.
Yes.
And then, Americana Outdoors comes up and, if you're looking for fish, I'll tell you the best reel you can get. And then you got to go back to it. And then Nancy went back to the store because her sick. Anyway.
Yes.
So, yes, it's really a process to do those. Yes, I'd much rather just do a quick car spot.
Get the money and move on to the next
spoke
thing.
shave and go out to dinner.
So as far as routines go, I think I probably have more routines than you do, but
Yeah, and don't overthink it.
yeah.
It's a voiceover. As long as you're good and warmed up, which is, what you talk about, and are mentally prepared. And
So how do you
have an
mentally
easy-
prepare yourself? Because she's asking that as well.
Well, I make sure that I am really, really familiar with the script.
Okay. And that makes you
And
feel
especially if they're going to be on the horn with you.
right. And that gives you the
And-
confidence.
Yes, exactly. And you
Yeah.
know what's coming. You don't, our eyes get way ahead of us anyway because of our years of experience. But if you read it over, for instance, the Science Channel shows that I did 5 of them, and they're all an hour and 57 minutes of me talking. And I really read each one of them 10 times before the session.
Yeah.
That's 20 hours.
Right.
But I recorded it in 2 hours and 9 minutes with the
Right.
people on the phone. And they go, wow, thank you. Usually this takes 8 hours and blah, 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 blah.
Because you're so familiar.
And I'm so familiar with it. I'm very confident. And there's very few places to stop. And so, yeah.
How long was the fecal matter narration you did?
So glad you finished that sentence because I was about to give you a measurement. When? Yesterday? Oh, shit. I don't know. I think about 8.5. Anyway, no. That was only a 6-minute video, but that took me 2 hours to record because I was laughing through the whole thing.
Okay.
Do not overstuff the fecal matter into the tube. And I'm just picturing this guy like with an anvil or something and a hammer going, get in there. I don't know. It's just, yeah.
That's sick.
It's funny that sometimes, you can read a 7 or 8 minute show and you make one mistake and you fix it and send it off. Or then you get a tag from Channel 7 that has 9 words in it and it takes you 25 minutes to do. Because there's something in there that's weird or it's too long and you fight with it. And
Right.
it's really weird the way things work sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all a-wed sometimes.
Oh, and
A-wed, dumbass.
I don't understand how your eyes saw that.
I don't know either. And it was one of those things, I kept looking at it saying, what is that? I've never heard anybody say a-wed.
It's almost like it was that when you see a word, you look at it too many times.
It was all capitalized, that's why.
Oh, okay.
All the rest of the words weren't, but when they wanted me to accent the word odd, they put it in all caps. And I figured it was an acronym for always wanting educational dietitians. I don't know. Always wanting educational dietitian. But anyway, it threw my eyes. It threw my eyes. Just like you speak about with the numbers in the car spots when they spell them out for you.
Oh,
49,239.7. What? I used to
drives
just
me-
cross it off and write the friggin' numbers in there because it's too hard to read.
I think they do it for a word count,
Yes.
so that way
Yes.
they can know that their timing is right. But
Yes.
yet,
Yeah, because that happens all the time in car spots. That helps a lot. Yeah, here's a 15. No, it's a 37. Don't worry, we'll take something out. Don't you love that during a session you're on the horn with people and it's way too long and they go,
Yeah.
all right, take out the on the third line. And
The
let's try it again.
right.
And I'm going, well, we're 17 seconds over, big guy. What? Anyway.
But that word count thing is very misleading. I got a new client last week that didn't know anything.
Yeah, it depends on how big the words are.
But like in their mind, they're like, well, I researched it. And it says that if I give you 50 words, it'll take you this amount of time. So, of course, I read it for him, and it is so lightning fast for what he wants.
Yeah.
And I said, the thing is, there's no meaning in it when you're just looking at words. Right. And we have to add meaning and expression, and you want every other word emphasized, so this is what's going to take time. Right. So, I mean, he's the nicest guy, so he was like, oh my gosh. So he went back and revised it, and it came out really good. But
I mean, I can say the 20 times a lot faster than I can say anticipation 20 times. So it depends what word it is.
And the numbers do take up a lot of time.
Oh, they do.
Phone numbers.
Oh my gosh, yes. And yeah, depending on what they are, you know, if you can say 0800, that's great. But if you have to say 0800,
right.
It's 3 times as long.
Or if they want the phone number repeated 3 times.
Yeah. Well, I hope we answered her questions. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, try not to.
Get warmed up. Make sure you don't sound like you just got out of bed.
Right. Yes.
You don't have to eat spinach or anything the night before. It's a voiceover. Just make sure you're familiar. Make sure your mind is in the right place. Because when I'm in the studio doing a voiceover, there is no world around me.
Right.
Everything else is gone.
You just shut
it out. It's kind of like choir music. Yeah, this is what I'm doing now. Mm-hmm. And I'm in complete control, and I'm completely involved in what I'm doing. And, you know, half the time I don't hear the dog bark underneath my damn take until I play it back.
Well, like you're bringing up a good point there, the solid, like the amount of concentration that has to go into reading that script when you're live with a client, it's all consuming. You don't do anything. You're not checking your phone. You're not, I usually.
Oh, no.
I take my Apple Watch off. I turn off all my notifications because I want to just zone in and give every ounce of attention I can to the script and to the client.
Yes. Yeah, when you're doing this, you should be doing only that. Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't. And that's how my world gets. It's just me in here. And what's going on the outside of this door, I never even know about. Mm-hmm. Never even know about. So it does take a lot of concentration to do it well. And like we've talked about before, the concentration is necessary, but sometimes harder than other days because of what's going on in your mind. You have to completely block it out and do your job.
And that can be very difficult. The same holds true for coaching. Coaching is all consuming for us.
Oh gosh, yes.
Because you are constantly paying attention to the student and
sometimes
everything
more
they're
than
doing.
Others.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And that's what you have to focus on, which is why it's so draining. I'm completely exhausted after our workouts. When you and I do the Wednesday nights, but the solo ones, if I limit myself, I can't do more than 3 a day because I'm exhausted and I have to focus on my other clients.
Right.
But if anybody ever tells you coaching is easy or it's like something you just kind of do on the side, it is all, you're all in.
You are listening more intently to them than you ever do yourself.
Right.
So you can nitpick.
Find
that was
things.
Great, except you said a word. Oh, do you remember the night?
Uh-oh.
We were doing the workout, and it was for Nestle Crunch, and the girl didn't say crunch. She said that naughty girl word, Nestle.
Oh, my God.
And it was so funny because one of the guy people in our class,
guy people,
on the screen just got up and ran away. And as he was running away, he said, "I've got to go get some cereal. I'll be right back." I don't know. It was rather hilarious, but yeah. Yes. So any other questions, Linda?
Well, let's see.
You have to be at least 5'2" to do voiceovers.
Here's a quick one.
Oh, yes.
Just because so we can, put it in a nice little tight box here, a little bow. I'm still navigating plosives, clicks, and other mouth sounds. What do you do to handle them while recording?
Don't do that. Okay, next question.
Well,
you need a windscreen of some sort. We both use the MKH416, and we have the foam condom on it.
Yes, but in your training with whomever you get trained with, they should be able to teach you how to release less air on a plosive.
Yep.
And also...
no, it's Impulsive.
Impulsive.
That's what I do. I just forget about him completely. Yes,
So-
there was a giant implosion today.
But a good coach will teach you how to navigate that yourself physically, as opposed to relying on, a plugin on Pro Tools to fix it.
Right. Yeah, no, I haven't had that problem ever that I know of. Just, keep the mic off to the side so that you're not plosiving right directly into it.
But also, like we talked about the other night on the workout with someone, as to how you wear your headphones. I'm one ear on, one ear off. So that way I can still monitor in case I did get too close, or something wound up uneven with the rest of the file.
Yes.
But I
yes.
can still hear the real me by having, the right can off
Right.
my...
It's kind of a neat stereo mix, live and real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I find that's the best way for me
I
to
should probably
manage
do that more often. That way I would hear the goddamn dog barks in the background.
There you go.
I hate that. I do a 3-minute script and I play it all back, and about 2:27 in, I hear bark. And I'm going, oh.
So you
And it's-
wear headphones completely?
What?
You wear headphones?
Yes.
Like you don't do the one ear on, one ear off?
No, I keep them very soft. Do you have a hickey?
No, it's my lighting in here.
Oh, okay.
JJ, don't look at me that
Sorry.
way.
Sorry.
See-
No, it wasn't. And but yeah, just keep the mic off axis. That's all. So if you go, your mic, if you do it right into the mic, you'll get a plosive. It's off to the side and pointed at your mouth, and you're looking forward to read the script. You shouldn't have any issues with that. If you have mouth noises, sip of water, a cup of hot tea is always a good thing. Clear out your gunk.
Yep.
It's funny, most of the time before a session, I do brush my teeth.
Oh, that does help, right?
Yes, because, you don't want pieces of pizza flying out of your mouth while you're in the middle of a session.
I meant more from the perspective of drying
Mouth
out.
clicks.
Yeah.
Drying out, mouth clicks from a piece of stuff stuck in your tooth. Yeah, it changes it.
The mouth clicks for me became greater as I got older. So
Yes.
which
Yes.
really stinks. And Brian Lee had convinced me. He's like, you need to buy this plug-in because we're getting older and we have clicks. And I was like, of course, denying it. And then I give in because he usually has great advice. So on the plug-in for Pro Tools, there's a declicker,
Really?
and I run everything through it because
Oh, I'll be darned. Click.
unfortunately.
What?
That's what's worked for me because especially if I take sinus medicine, it totally makes my mouth very loud.
Yeah.
And all the amount of water I drink and the freaking eat an apple, all that stuff doesn't help me.
No.
You
no.
know.
You need the declicker.
The declicker is awesome.
Yes.
And I use it all
Interesting.
the time. Yeah.
Interesting.
So those are
yeah.
the little physical things that do change as our bodies age
Right?
a bit, but they're doable with the right plugins in your editing software. In case you don't know how to get rid of stuff, you can, And what's a plugin, JJ? Got to explain that.
I will check that out. I will download that and check it out.
But explain to our audience what's a plugin.
Well, it's a little thing you plug into the wall, and then you can turn your light on and off. And how deep do you want me to go with this?
Oh, plug in into an audio editing.
Oh, shit. I was on a street the other day where you couldn't plug anything in. It was horrible.
What?
Well, I don't know. The sign said no outlet.
Oh, God.
Anyway, a plug-in is something that I run sometimes if I'm doing the cleaning up myself. Most of the time the client doesn't want that, but sometimes I do. And I use a program called Ozone where it's like an equalizer. You can raise the lows and the highs and stuff like that. It's just like that. Mm-hmm. It just runs it through a program that when it hears those clicks, it cuts them out.
Now you use Pro Tools?
So do I.
Okay. So does it go into Pro Tools or is it external?
I don't know. I haven't used it yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
The declicker?
Yeah.
No, I just edit them all out. But thanks for the tip because it's going to save me time.
Well, this is actually within Pro Tools. It's RX Elements.
Oh, okay.
And you buy it, and it winds up going into Pro Tools itself, so it's very easy to access. So I
All
just
right,
wanted
you just
to cover that.
put it up in the bar there under inserts A through E and stuff like that. Yeah.
So I just want to make that clear for people that are wondering.
Oh, and while we're on this subject,
yes,
I also put a master meter. That's one of the plugins that comes with Pro Tools.
I don't understand that concept.
Well, it's a true meter, and it shows up on another screen, and I play the file back and make sure that I'm peaking at around -2.
Oh, interesting. Where can I find that?
If you go to the next to audio, go to inserts, and click one of the 4 or 5 spaces there.
Oh, I see, on the track itself?
Yes, on the track itself.
Okay.
Yes. And I can't do it now because I'm recording.
We're running. I'll try it
Thank God
afterwards.
It didn't stop. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've
and
never done that before.
I just make sure that I'm not, because I did get a comment from somebody one day who said, "Man, you're peaking at -6. It's not loud enough. It should always be right around -3 is what everybody loves."
Yeah, -3 is a good, yeah.
Yeah. So I just make sure that everything is very consistent level-wise as well.
Smart.
Yeah.
And that's another tip from J.J. Wilson.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that wraps up this episode. I think we did well.
I thought I was you were fantastic.
I'd like to congratulate us on it.
Thank
I think
you.
it was
Thank
great.
you. Thank you very
Workouts are resuming in January.
I don't work out anymore.
Well, you do
Too
on
old.
Wednesday nights.
Oh, that kind of workout. Yeah, that I do.
Yes. So
Yeah.
our first one is January 6th, and then we have one on the 13th and the 20th. So
Was that a plosive you were avoiding?
I'm like, wait a minute, let me look at dates. I'm a little tired. 6th, 13th, and 20th, we're having our workouts for the month of
Very
January.
good.
So sign up and join us, and let's, break in
Let's have
2021.
some fun. Let's start off the new year right and get some
Exactly.
more people working here.
Yeah, we're all going to be
Yeah.
working. We're all going to be working. So thanks
Yeah,
again
I
for
wanna
joining
work.
us.
Thank you for joining us.
And thank you, JJ. Lovely to see you.
Linda, it's lovely to see you too. See, they don't know we can see each other.
Right, but now...
But my wife has ordered the line.
Oh, good.
And we've got 50 feet of cord coming. So because that would be the only time I use it is for you and I to do this. So
Yes.
hopefully pretty soon we'll be on camera doing this.
Oh, that'd be good. Yes, and then the
And,
video will go to YouTube.
Yes, I'm going to wear my Halloween costume. It's going to be awesome.
We can
gonna
actually
be awesome.
physically show you things, too,
Yes.
in our studio.
No, it's not that kind of podcast, Linda. Jeez.
And join us again, and if you have any questions, just like Diane did, you can email us at info@voiceover.guru. And
That's
everybody
right.
have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.
Have a fantastic one.